Hello and welcome to The Box Seat, Perth Racing's video previews of racing out of Belmont Park. I'm Scott Embry, filling in for Mark Warwood, who's on 7 days of well-deserved break. The meeting we're looking at here is on Wednesday the 2nd of September. Anticipated track condition, we're looking at a soft 5 here with some rain around in the metro area. Tomorrow we're looking at 19 degrees on Wednesday at Belmont Park. A couple of showers around and the rail is at the 13 metre position. Rolling straight into race number 1 here at Belmont Park on Wednesday. It is the free entry to Belmont Park Maiden. It's over 1,200 metres, and let's have a look at the most impressive recent trial of likely favourite here in Timescale.
The leader on the outside, Timescale. Coming hard around the outside is Count the Sessions, trying to put in a run. And back on the inside is Gold Merits there, clear from Vanilla Latte. And picking up some ground from the back is Powerful Force. Hitting the front, though, it's Timescale. On the outside, just in front, Hell's Bell is running second. And they're clear from Count the Sessions. And back on the inside is Gold Merits. But Timescale for Cody Southam is coming away. And Simon Miller wins it well, 2.5.
Well, that was Timescale, sitting outside the leader and winning under Natasha Faithful very impressively at Belmont Park at the trials. That was a soft 7, so the track condition shouldn't worry her at all. The only query is where she gets to from the gate. Not an easy one for Chris Parnham to contend with, but he is riding as well as anybody in Western Australia. Simon Miller, Chris Parnham, 53.5 kilos as a 3-year-old filly. Think that there's going to be a lot of support for her, and she's clearly my on-top selection here in number 10. From 1 in Hidden Journey, a wide gate for Steve Parnham to contend with, but a really good last start effort behind Captain Kink. 6, City Ladies, who comes out of a maiden, which I thought was a pretty good effort as well, even though beaten 4 lengths. And 4 next best in Igarashi. Forget about the trial, the blinkers weren't on. My numbers in race number 1, 10, 1, 6 and 4. Race number 2 at Belmont Park will jump at 1:49 p.m. It's the Peninsula Dining Room Maiden. It's over 1,000 metres, and the horse we're looking at in replay here was on debut for Colin Webster. His name is Divine Pair.
Dune Messiah going back onto the inside will get the benefit of the cutaway, followed by Classic Magnus, who's starting to wind up now and likewise back in the field, hitting top gear. Divine Pair, 175 to go. On the outside, it's Classic Magnus going to the lead from Casino War. Divine Pair down the outside continues to run on. Classic Magnus, Casino War, and Classic Magnus just won.
That replay we just watched of Divine Pair was a Class 1. He now comes back into maiden company. The blinkers go on for the first time, and his most impressive trial win was with the blinkers on as well. So I think it's a key gear change here. Wouldn't surprise to see him go forward from the gate. He went back on debut, but he did show an abundance of speed at the trials. Looks pretty hard to beat here, and very well placed by Colin Webster's yard. Number 1, Divine Pair, the on-top selection. Number 4, next best in Secret Plan, who is a debutant from Bob and Sandra Peters livery. Really impressive, but drawn in the car park. Number 3, Apple Snaps, coming out of only a 400 metre jump out, but drawn really well. And number 6 in Strathmore Rose, who went oh so close first up for Roy Rogers. With any ounce of luck at all, should be right in the finish again. My selections in race 2, 1, 4, 3 and 6. Race number 3 at Belmont is the Glenroy Chaff Handicap. This is over 1,400 metres, and the horse that we're going to have a look at in replay here is number 2, Bad Wolf, at his most recent run.
And then a further 2 lengths, Lonsdale Lady, Tonka Tough, put a spell on you, is starting to work into it now. And here comes Leading Girl down the outside as well. Count to Moz off 200 from Holmes, the leader by a length. Rebel Yell, Lonsdale Lady and Leading Girl. Leading Girl lengthening stride, 100 to go, went up to Lonsdale Lady. Lonsdale Lady, Leading Girl. Lonsdale Lady in front, clinging on from Leading Girl. Lonsdale Lady, Lonsdale Lady.
That was Bad Wolf finishing 5th, but in a 66 plus handicap behind the very impressive Ascot 1,000 Guineas and return winner in Lonsdale Lady. The horse that ran second in the replay that we just watched was Leading Girl, who looks like she's going to go through the grades. And we see Bad Wolf now come back into a midweeker. This is only his 7th or his 8th run in Western Australia, and all of the ones he's been in since have been in higher grade than what he contests here. Alan Kennedy riding for Ash Maley, a very formidable combination. And from the gate, I think he'll give back as a pretty good sight here. So I'm tipping Bad Wolf to record his first Western Australian win, number 2. From number 4 in Inflation, your likely leader, Lucy Warwick, will have him in front for the majority of the race, as he has been at his last couple. Number 7, TYCOON Storm, she is nominated for both Wednesday and Thursday, so if she does start at Belmont Park, then she should be in the finish. And number 1, Next Best, False Statement, big beneficiary out of any rain that we get in the 24 hours leading up to race day, because he's an out-and-out wet tracker. My numbers in the Glenroy Chaff handicap, 2, 4, 7 and 1. Race number 4 on the program at Belmont Park is the Tab Touch Betty Your Bet handicap. It's a 1400 metre race, and the horse we're looking at in replay is Neat Action running second.
Comfort Me about to go, playing Marika down the outside from Neat Action. Bedouin Bell reaches the lead, passing the 300. It's Bedouin Bell a length clear. Comfort Me though sizes it up now. It grabs the lead, playing Marika, grinding away further back. It's Comfort Me though as he draws the whip, races away from Bedouin Bell, and Comfort Me starts to extend, comes away, went on to win it comfortably. Bedouin Bell from maybe Neat Action.
Neat Action ran second there to Comfort Me, and that was a no Metro win West Speed race. So he drops back into Class 1 company, and I thought the effort was definitely good enough to be competitive here. He has only won the 1 race out of his 19 starts, so he can be hard to catch. But this looks a pretty even sort of race, where there's 5 or 6 legitimate winning chances. I did think that Neat Action was 1, and he should be getting the right run from gate number 5. I have him on top in race number 4, from number 6 in Mong Con and 5 in Lies and Deception. They both come from the exact same race. They're very different horses, but they both should be competitive in this. Lies and Deception the likely leader, and Mong Con hopefully sitting a little bit closer from the gate. For my 4th selection, I went down to the bottom of the page, number 10 in Norton. Impressive first up in a much higher grade than this, but that being said, there's a lot of winning chances in the last leg of the quaddie. My numbers in race 4, 7, 6, 5 and 10. Race number 5 at Belmont Park will jump at 3:35 p.m. It's the Schweppes handicap, also over 1400 metres. This one's for the fillies and mares, and we're going to go back and look at the first up run, the maiden win of number 2, Crash Hat Lady.
Last, I Am Groot, the tail end of Fan Dazzle, balancing 400 left to go. Crash Hat Lady, Sean the Persuader, led by 2, Fairer America. A similar margin, Just Judy, Kashina Del Santo. Fair Rouge is trying to wind up, coming down the middle of the track. Crash Hat Lady, though, still with a handy lead, with 150 left to go. I think she's got their measure, Crash Hat Lady. It's the helmet filly. In fact, she's extending. She's coming away into a huge roar of the crowd here. Crash Hat Lady's gone on.
Well, that was Chloe as a party and Crash Hat Lady running maiden opposition really into the ground. The next start sat outside the lead, but in a race where they went 10 lengths faster than average. I thought it was a pretty good effort actually, even though beaten a long, long way. Senior rider Mitchell Pateman picks up the ride, draws in close in a race with not a lot of speed, and I thought that maybe Crash Hat Lady could give us a run for our money, and hopefully at an each way price as well. I went Crash Hat Lady on top from number 1 in the likely favourite AMASENUS. The form behind Rationale looks really good now, with that mare of David Harrison's winning on Saturday. Number 11 Next Best for me in Safety Bay, who was last seen last Thursday at Northern, so it's a 6-day backup and a big drop in weight for Maddie Derrick. Number 4 Showaddywaddy, who ended up in the Oaks and the Derby last campaign. Her recent trial behind Missile Launch was pretty impressive at 1,000 metres, and she has to be a chance in what is another pretty wide open race. My numbers in race 5, the Schweppes handicap, 2, 1, 11 and 4. Race number 6 at Belmont Park will jump at 4:15 p.m. It's the Amelia Park handicap over 1,200 metres. Let's have a look at the last start effort of number 1, PULI.
Great Heist is out there deep, and back last is Lucky Hardy. Still hasn't moved on PULI, who's looking for more rain. Down to the 250. PULI led by a length and a half. Stella Door. Parham has to get really busy now on Elite Street. He comes at PULI. PULI down to the 150 with Elite Street in pursuit. It's PULI kicking Elite Street. Is getting level. Elite Street, PULI. Elite Street got the dive. Elite Street right on.
Well, that was the first time this campaign that PULI tasted a defeat. He was a first-up maiden winner by 4.5 lengths. He then backed it up into a Class 1 where he won by, again, almost that 4-length margin. He came to town and was only gunned down late by Elite Street, and I think we're all expecting Elite Street to make the grade at Ascot over the summer carnival, at least as a Saturday horse, but possibly even better than that. So the form behind PULI, very, very good. I think that Sean O'Donnell will take him straight to the top here, and even though he's got 61.5 kilos, he's a big son of Dick Turpin that should be able to carry the weight. And if the track at Belmont with the rail at 13 is favouring those on-speed horses, then I think PULI's probably the way that we get the cash on Wednesday. Pretty keen, number 1, PULI. From number 3 in Noble Reflection, Senior Rider On and the Blinkers On should be giving a much better showing second up after being a bit disappointing to the eye fresh. Number 8 Next Best in Leading Man, who backs up and drops in weight with the 3 kilo claim for Lactar Rumley. And number 5 in Regal POYSE, who will be sure to appreciate Chris Parnham jumping back in the saddle, who rode her to victory 2 starts ago. My numbers in the Amelia Park handicap are 1, 3, 8 and 5. Race number 7 at Belmont Park is over 1,650 metres. It's the Iron Jack handicap. It's a pretty wide open race, but we'll have a look at the replay of the very consistent ARTIE'S Jules running second at Pinjarra.
Behind it, Street Fair getting caught up in a bit of traffic. Got the rails run, though, at that particular time. And down the outside, ARTIE'S Jules. Play hard, left the fence, combat ready. Zip Your Lips. Street Fair's up against the inside, finishing strongly. 100 left to go. Zip Your Lips, ARTIE'S Jules, Street Fair. It's on the outside. Zip Your Lips, though, in front from ARTIE'S Jules, Street Fair, and Zip Your Lips has won.
ARTIE'S Jules is very consistent, and I'm sure that Karen Kersley's got him in career best form. He's won a race this preparation, but it's his 4 placings out of his last 5 that have really caught the eye. He can be a little bit luckless, but from the gate he should get every opportunity. Steve Parnham really seems to have meshed well with him, and this is a race where there's a few winning chances, but he's knocking on the door to go through the grades and win another race. So I think that ARTIE'S Jules is a nice safe way to play in the last. I put him on top, number 7. From 2 in Arnie's Boy, who drops back into Class 3 company for the first time in a very, very long while. Number 8, Brave Contender, who's going well for Jade McNaught and should take up a prominent position from the barrier. And number 5 in Great Waters, who's going to need some serious luck because he's drawn out in the car park. But if Mitch Pateman can get him into the moving line, his last 8 effort behind Giant Leap was very good. My numbers in the lucky last, 7, 2, 8 and 5. Time for best bets at Belmont Park on Wednesday the 2nd of September. And I'm going in race number 6 with the best bet. Number 1 in PULI. Hoping for a little bit of value earlier in the day with Bad Wolf. It's race 3, number 2. You can follow all of the social media on Perth Racing's Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on the punting page on Facebook and also on Perth Racing's website. My name's Scott Embry. I'll be back on Saturday to bring you all of the races for the 5th of September, and Mark Warwood will be back next week to join you again.